dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some would consider to be unnatural. But not for us, because we are the powerful Nerdcast. Hello, my friends. I am Corey, and joined with me is Christian.
Yes, I am.
And the hype this week, holy crap. This has got to be one of the biggest week for movie trailers I've ever seen.
Corey, like, watching you film the Star Wars trailer reaction today was like borderline. I was like, I thought I'm a fan of things, but watching you freak out, and I was like scared a little bit. I was like, whoa,
I'm glad.
So into that, like you're like, whoa, your fandom goes so much deeper. I like Star Wars a lot, and I definitely appreciate it. But the way you took to that trailer today, do you want to start off there? Let's start off.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and start strong with Star Wars because it's incredibly fresh in our minds. The big trailer just came out for Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens. If you guys want to see the trailer, I'll put a link for it in the description box below. And I'm still kind of floored by all of it. And it's not even the only trailer this week.
They didn't give that much away.
They don't. They barely give away any of the story. It's basically just showing off some of the key characters and what the big battles are actually going to look like in the film. And my first thought after watching the trailer was just that was so distinctly Star Wars. It had the same feel of it. It just felt like watching the old movies again.
It's almost like old. You ever seen Star Wars art where like there'll be a painting of any of the planets? It almost looked like living still frames of Star Wars art.
And that is so beautiful. And what I really love about it, I'm glad that you brought that up because one of the original designers and concept artists for Star Wars, I believe his name was Ralph McQuarrie, and he did a lot of famous artwork for Star Wars. He sort of created, like, I believe the general look for Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, and he did a lot of, like, all those old, big, like, shots of the planets, like Tatooine and everything, and like you said, it opens up with this big shot on Tatooine with the speeder going off in the distance, and then suddenly you start to realize that there's this massive Star Destroyer, which has actually crashed into Tatooine, which the imagery right there really just sets the tone for the rest of the trailer.
It shows you that something has happened. All those things in Star Wars you remember? This is after that. That's kind of they're building that world. Yeah.
This is all the aftermath of when the rebels actually destroyed the Death Star and seemingly defeated the Empire. But the trailer for The Force Awakens definitely reinforces the fact that the Empire has actually only gotten stronger. They're still around. They're still trying to take control of the Republic and sort of basically subjugate the entire galaxy. And you get to see a lot of shots of the brand new Empire, the brand new Stormtroopers, which were teased earlier in some imagery, but when we finally got to see them in motion, it was even better. Because not only are there just regular Stormtroopers, there are these brand new ones. There's this one in particular that looks like a commander type. Yeah, they show him in the trailer. He's walking all slow-mo, badass, silvery, has this freaking cape on.
You're a badass with a cape.
Awesome. Oh, you know it, man. And just the hype from the Stormtroopers was enough, but like there's a lot of great shots of the brand new X-Wing pilots. There's this one where it looks like they're taking off, which could be from their original home base.
Or like
from
the training scene or something. They all look like they're having a good time. It doesn't look like they're in a war. And I think that's also something you're going to get a lot of because this film's going to have to establish a lot of characters.
A lot.
And make us care about them, which is a hard thing to do. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of world building that's going to be done. But at the same time, we already know the Star Wars universe so well. It's more like getting us up to date with the timeline.
There's going to be a lot to say, too, because this takes place supposedly a good 30 years after the return of the Jedi. And I want to know really what happened to like the main cast during that time. We already know that a lot of the old people are going to be returning. In fact, in the trailer, the very last shot is of Han Solo and Chewbacca still hanging out doing their whole smuggle thing, and I think it's great. Just the minute that popped up, I almost lost it.
I was
sort of like, no joke, holding back like the man tears, just like how good that made me feel, just how classic it felt, just the fact that Chewbacca isn't a big CG creature, he's actually someone in a suit, and Han Solo is there, and just it looks like Han Solo. Obviously, he's a little older, a little more grizzled, and thank God, he hasn't broken any more freaking limbs. But it was just great to see that. The other things
obviously had crashed the Millennium Falcon in that scene, though.
Yeah, but that sequence though, and that actually ties back to the Star Destroyer that was in the Tatooine desert. It's not just crashed; it's going to be the site of a big action scene where you see some TIE fighters and the Millennium Falcon actually flying through the destroyed Star Destroyer and having a big aerial battle, which is just not only unique for Star Wars, but it fits with the tone of it. Because in the old Star Wars movies, and this is the big difference I think between the original trilogy and and the prequel trilogy. In the prequel trilogy, everything looks so new and pristine and nice, and that's because the galaxy has not been ravaged by war yet. But if you watch the old Star Wars movies, everything looks like crap. Everything looks like a junkyard. And a lot of that has to do with the fact that they really just didn't have the budget to create this big, massive super space world, so they took advantage of it by making it seem like it all been ravaged by war.
Like
and
almost
that's
post-apocalyptic in some ways.
In some ways, yeah. Like, then, there's Star Destroyers, spaceships, which are just sort of strewn about the galaxy, almost like a big naval war battleship that's at the bottom of the ocean. It kind of has like that same feel. And the fact that they were able to like sort of take that and make it work for this movie as well is just fantastic. And there's even more imagery of the new characters in the film. There's the character of Rey. There's the brand new Stormtrooper character whose name unfortunately just escapes me at the moment. And then, of course, there's Kylo Ren, who is going to be the villain of the film. He's definitely going to be the bad guy,
So do we know if that black actor is actually a good guy or a bad guy?
I'm pretty sure he's going to be a good guy. In fact, I'm willing to believe he might be one of the main characters of the movie. I think he's the one that might even pertain to the whole Force Awakening thing. He's obviously a Stormtrooper working for the Empire, but I think something must have driven him to actually like not be with the Empire anymore.
It's just weird because you never see Stormtroopers without their helmets.
Rarely, unless it's like Han and Luke who are, dressing up as Stormtroopers. Yeah. That's the only time you're ever going to see it.
So like it's kind of strange because one of our main characters is a Stormtrooper that takes his helmet off all the time. So does that mean we're going to see other Stormtroopers take off their helmets a lot?
I think so. I think we're going to see a more realistic take on like what it means to be like in the military of the Empire. I wouldn't say that.
Modern warfare, Star Wars.
Let's put Kevin Spacey in here too. Might as well put him in a CG cameo. But the other thing is the other new characters like Kylo Ren and everything. His character was
the new
teased.
Darth Vader.
Basically, that's what he is. Speaking of which, we do get a shot of Darth Vader's old burnt helmet from his cremation, which just seeing that alone, like I flipped out. Mostly just because I'm a Star Wars fanboy, but just that image, they queued up the Darth Vader breathing noise, and just it got you so into it. And that might actually have something to do with Kylo Ren and his big plans, because there's been concept art of him actually holding that helmet. I don't know what that's going to have to do with his plan, but the thing that I think most people are going to be talking about in this trailer is this one unseen character who may or may not be Luke Skywalker or related to him in some sense. There's a character in the trailer who has a mechanical hand, just like Luke Skywalker, and he's actually quoting him directly during that scene in Return of the Jedi where Luke Skywalker basically revealed to Princess Leia that they are indeed siblings. I don't know why they're doing this. I'm sure there is some sort of symbolism behind this character saying that, but they still don't even show like Luke, Leia, or any of those old characters. Really, Han and Chewie is really all you need to get the Star Wars fans into a theater, but I really can't wait to see what they're going to be doing with those characters.
Of the things I thought is maybe they were reading some of those quotes at his funeral, at Luke Skywalker's funeral, because it's a big risk, or we're at a big risk that some of our favorite original characters are going to die off, and they're going to like hand off the torch for. They're at least making 3 more of these things. Or
least, they definitely have 3 planned, and then the 3 spinoffs.
Yeah, so they've got a ton of stuff coming out, so they've got to hand off the torch to the new characters. So Luke Skywalker or someone big might die at the end. So I thought that was maybe
I'm convinced Han Solo is going to die.
Yeah.
I think he's one of the key characters who's on the chopping block. And this goes back to the 1980s when Empire Strikes Back came out. Before that was officially released, at the very end of the movie, and I'm not going to say spoiler alert because it's been out since the 80s, at the very end of the movie, Han Solo is frozen in carbonite, and Harrison Ford believed that at that point in time, Han Solo's character should be dead and they should have killed him off. He was sort of done playing the character and getting ready to move on to bigger and better things, such as Indiana Jones and tossing people out of his airplane. And what's really...
it always, every time someone brings up carbonite, it always reminds me of that skit of Triumph the Insult Comic Dog.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever he went to the Star Wars convention, he's like, what was Han Solo's frozen? And everyone's like, carbonite. And he's like, the correct answer is, who cares?
Yeah, he's like, who gives a shit? That's the correct answer, you fucking nerds. God, I'm reminded of all that great Triumph Star Wars stuff. But right
and
after...
now the nerds will go through the ceremonial banging of the plastic toys.
I think they even had a Star Wars wedding like during that time.
Yeah, and then like he talked to a pregnant woman. He's like that poor man it's the last time he'll see vagina after he comes out of one.
Oh, that was very good. This is a topic for another video, but Triumph does have a new show on Adult Swim.
I've heard,
and I don't like it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't like it at all.
I feel like it's the kind of comedy you can only watch so much of.
It's the type of comedy I don't like, period.
Wow.
Because it's like Triumph.
Who's he doing it with? There's a famous person he's doing it with.
God, the guy's name escapes me so much right now, but he's from, I believe, 30 Rock. No, not 30 Rock. Well, actually, this is weird. You remember the movie Ricky Bobby?
Yeah.
You remember that one member of the pit crew who's like really effeminate?
Oh yeah, he's from 30 Rock. Yeah. He's also
Fix It Felix from Wreck-It Ralph.
I was going to say Build It Bob or Building Bob, but that's wrong. Yeah, Fix It Felix. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's like, I don't know if that guy's really gay, but he's obviously he plays the effeminate guy in all the movies.
Mm-hmm. He does that job really well. He's a funny guy regardless, and the new show is him and Triumph.
I bet the whole point, like he's real innocent and like, new to the world, and then you have Triumph that's just talking mad.
But it's
shit.
in like a sitcom setting.
Interesting.
Like there's laugh tracks and everything. No. But occasionally, which that's the only part of the show I don't like. But then they do like the more traditional Triumph man on the street kind of talking to people, which is really the highlight of the show, which is what I think most Triumph fans want to see. But let's get back to Star Wars and not Triumph, the insult comic dog. But like I said, I think Harrison Ford, his character Han Solo, is probably going to be axed either in this movie or the next. I don't know how that's going to sit with the fan base, however. It's sort of up in the air. Just as long as it works for the story and it actually lets the new characters shine a little bit. And that's, as excited as I am to see my old characters return, I really hope the new characters are just as interesting.
Because they're who we're stuck with.
Yeah.
So
that's
they better be good.
These are the new guys. Like, we have to make sure this works. And, in episode 1, the prequels, it was a lot of characters that were implied and things that we've seen before. And the prequels were just plagued by a number of problems, which I don't even want to get into now because I'd just be beating a horse to death.
And that's also a whole different topic.
Yeah, it really is. What I will say is I'm more than excited for Star Wars Episode 7, even more so after seeing this trailer. I honestly didn't expect them to show that much. I didn't even think that we were going to get a shot of any of the old people. And just the fact that we got some close-up shots of Poe Dameron and of Kylo Ren, who's wearing his badass brand new mask, makes him look like a cyber ninja. Stormtroopers are awesome. I love the Stormtroopers so much.
The new Stormtrooper leader. Mm-hmm. That guy's cool.
It's good to see that there's going to be a lot of big space battles. You can even see there's a big shot of the Stormtroopers fighting, and it looks like they're being attacked, and they're flying all over the place.
The X-Wings.
Just beyond excited for this movie.
If you guys don't think Corey's very excited, if you just have any sliver of a doubt, you need to go watch his reaction video to the trailer, and I'm sure we'll have that link below too.
I mean, and just the build up to my reaction, I think was like I was just like,
nothing's even happened.
Well, no, I just love the fact that like we were getting ready to sit down and record our podcast. We were all chill and everything, and I'm just like looking through, and I'm like, Star Wars trailer just came out. We're doing this now. Like I got really into it, and like we immediately like set up the cameras. Absolutely. I got my headphones on, and I was just like, "Come on, Christian, hurry up!" Like I had to watch it. Like it was just such an important part of being a Star Wars fan was seeing that. And the only time I think I've ever been this excited for a Star Wars movie was literally back when they announced the brand new prequel trilogy. Just like a lot of folks, I have a lot of hope for this one. There's a lot of new people working on it. George Lucas is no longer involved, aside from the whole Lucasfilm aspect. So there's just a lot of freshness coming from this, and yet it still feels like classic Star Wars, which is an amazing accomplishment.
So, okay, we got Star Wars trailer. Mm-hmm. Perfect 10 out of 10. Sexy experience. God, yeah. You were very happy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the opposite. Let's talk about Terminator Genisys, because this is a big problem because they revealed way too much in the latest trailer.
Way too much.
They pretty much told you the big twist, and that's that, okay, spoiler alert, because you can see the trailer. If you don't want to know this, please don't. I know this movie hasn't come out, but it's in the trailer. They showed that John Connor is actually a like T-1000 or T-5000, whatever the hell they're going to call the new one, the liquid metal one. He's a Terminator. So either he's not really a Terminator and they just are punking us in the trailer, or John Connor's been killed and now he's being mimicked by the T-1000, or he really is a T-1000. I don't know. The point is they gave away a huge twist. And compare that to the Star Wars trailer. All they did is have moving, sexy shots of some stuff and then some close-up shots and some cool slow-mo shots, but they didn't really tell us much about the movie.
No.
And that is a big problem nowadays. Like, they just give away a lot. And
I feel like I've already seen most of Terminator Genisys.
They've used up a lot of the Arnold stuff already. They show you Arnold's going to fight 1980s Arnold. That's a big thing.
That's the highlight of the movie for me.
Yeah, personally. That was a cool thing. And they're giving away a lot of stuff. So it's sort of interesting to see why that trend continues, because they do that all the time now. But Star Wars, I just think, is just like there's careful about that.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not going to give it away.
It's their baby. They have a lot of money to make. They can't risk anything getting spoiled too much. But with Terminator, you already kind of know what you're getting. You know,
You're getting some robot battles. You're getting some explosions. You're getting some hanging off cars. You're getting some Michael Bay-esque action.
I mean, just the fact that this is already kind of like technically kind of rebooting the entire series in some senses, and yet it's also sort of like a pseudo sequel at the same time. But I do agree, showing John Connor was a really bad idea. Like, that was one of those things they could have saved for the theater, which could have potentially been really shocking, but we still don't really know like what he is.
Technically is another universe. I guess you could say it's not a reboot. I think you bring up a good point. It's not a reboot. It's technically a different timeline because they sent John Connor back, and everything's different this time. So
Sarah Connor has known she's going to be attacked by a Terminator for over 10 years, which gives her an opportunity to not only train herself, but to also meet this other Terminator who's going to end up being her buddy.
Yeah.
I will say, oddly enough, my favorite part of the trailer, though, was when she does end up saving Kyle Reese, and they're driving away, and she's mentioning that the Terminator's been trying to learn to have human emotions, and you get to see Arnold have that big, stupid smile on his face. I thought that was pretty funny. It's an overblown joke, and it's something that people have been saying for a long time.
You know what? It's like
Terminator is the perfect role for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, and I bet he's going to say, "I'll be back." Actually, he says it in the trailer.
Dude, he definitely says that. I'm waiting for the Hasta la Vista, baby. Like, I'm waiting for all of that. Hopefully when he dies, the last thing we see is a thumbs up.
I knew exactly what you were going to do there.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like, the more... It's funny. Like, the first trailer I saw for Terminator Genisys, I was like, all right, I'm kind of on board for this. Second one I saw, all right, it's looking all right. This one actually kind of turned me off a little bit. Almost like, I don't need to see it in theaters. Like, I could wait to see this on, like, TV or Blu-ray,
Netflix,
and, you know, I'd be just fine.
Yeah.
You know, I don't really feel like I'm going to have to go to the theater to see this. As a Terminator fan, though, I kind of want to. It's just,
I want to see it.
I've seen... you know, obviously I was too young to see Judgment Day in theaters when it came out. You know, there's no way my parents were going to take me to see that. I did see Terminator 3 in theaters, which, you know, it was okay. And Terminator Salvation, I remember walking out of that and just being like, what the hell was that? Like, that was awful.
Yeah, it was really bad.
A PG-13 Terminator movie, which had zero soul to it. And whoever that guy was who was playing the Terminator who thought he was human, I thought he did a really bad job. And Christian Bale, you know, he's a good actor, but I don't think he was the right choice for John Connor. And now that we got this new John Connor in here who looks nothing like any of the other ones, I don't even know where they're going with it. And, you know, this John Connor
He looks like Brule's Rules.
He does. He kind of looks like John C. Reilly is John Connor to save the future.
That's what he
looks like. I want to see, like, some Photoshop trailers of, or, like, pictures, you know, of, like, the poster with John Connor on it, and just replace it with that goofy-ass Brule's Rules head for your health. You know,
exactly.
That guy's so fucking hilarious.
That's what he looks like. He looks like a fat 40-year-old man with a Jufro.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's what he looks like in this one. It's kind of ridiculous.
But yeah, I think it's safe to say this will probably be the last Terminator movie with Arnold in it, which hopefully will mean the end of the franchise.
If they don't...
There's just no way they're going to be able to ever capture those first two movies, like the magic they had. They were just so well done. They were done by James Cameron. The other ones are not. They definitely had their own feel to them, and they just worked. The action in the second movie is better than most modern action movies that I see. So it's a tough act to follow. I mean, I'm still excited as a Terminator fan, but like when compared to some of the other movies that are coming out, it doesn't hold a candle.
No, it's not very good. And when you can go see Age of Ultron or see that, what are you going to see?
And going back to the whole trailer thing, you were mentioning how it showed too much. Avengers Age of Ultron comes out in like 2 weeks.
They released a new trailer.
And they released some new trailers and a lot of clips, which I have been turning down. I've been making sure to tell everybody.
All of them.
Oh, I can't believe you did that.
I watched them all.
There's one of our subscribers who I know you'll know immediately, Packers fan.
Oh, of course.
He comments on all our videos and watches a lot of them. Awesome guy. He actually sent me a clip for, I think it was Hulk fighting against either Ultron or Iron Man or something.
Iron Man and Hulkbuster armor. I've seen it.
I was like, dude, I really appreciate this because you always send me a lot of cool clips, but I've got to avoid this clip like the plague. There is no way I'm going to watch this scene when I can watch it for the first time in a theater and have my mind completely blown. So pretty much any other clip or trailer that comes out over the course of the next 2 weeks, I'm not even going to look at it. I want to be able to go into this
Hulk
movie. And
Iron Man fight was epic, though.
Oh, I know it's going to be. That's why I'm going to save it for the theater, and I'm just going to be like, ah! Like, this is actually happening. So I really can't wait for that one. But other Marvel stuff, another big trailer just came out this week. Probably the best one that we've seen for it thus far, and that is Ant-Man, starring Paul Rudd and Michael Douglas.
That movie is still looking better and better with every trailer.
Mm-hmm.
I just here's the thing. I didn't know anything about Ant-Man. And I thought I was in the know in the, nerdy world. But I think Ant-Man's really like kind of a second-tier character. Or I see him hanging around when they get all the super characters together. And I was like, oh, Ant-Man, okay, he can grow. He can get small. He can sneak into places. But I didn't know he like retains all his power when he's small. I didn't know like he could be an inch big and punch you and it would be just like a human being of equal size of yourself.
He becomes, like they say, a living bullet.
Yes, exactly. And he could like run into you, or he could grow, or he could sneak into places, and he has a flying ant that he can ride. And they also revealed a little more about the story, that those super suits that he uses that can grow and shrink are starting to be mass produced and commercialized. And a character from Game of Thrones is not Game of Thrones, House of Cards is going to be.
He's the villain, I believe.
Yeah,
he's a Yellow Jacket.
He's Yellow Jacket. It's kind of funny
because it's Ant-Man, so the villain is going to be bug themed.
Yeah, it's got to be bug themed. And he has, Doc Ock laser beam arms or something.
He has like these like spikes that come out on his back that can shoot lasers, and frankly, they just look really cool.
Yeah, it makes the suit look
kind of looks like a Tron Iron Man.
Yes, exactly. And they're gonna fight, and it look cool. And the style and the feel of that film, it's so funny because it's dark and it looks heavy and real and like gritty. And then you have Paul Rudd in the mix, so he just lightens things up randomly. So I actually really am looking forward to that film. I think it's going to be really good. What did you get from the trailer?
Oh, I loved it. It was fantastic. It really gave us a good idea of what the tone of the movie is going to be like. I like to equate it to kind of like One Piece, like a manga or an anime, where like it can have its moments of badassery, but it knows to have a good time too.
Yes,
and it can
be
really
that's a good way
funny.
To put it.
And that's what they're doing with this one. And it was great to see more of Paul Rudd in this one. He didn't really show up that much in the previous teasers, just to see his humor interjected. I love the fact when he finally teams up with Michael Douglas, which, man, just great transition from Liberace to this. I just gotta say, the guy really.
That movie.
But that proves yet again that Michael Douglas is a damn good actor because he can pull off a lot of different types of roles.
He can be working with Paul Rudd or working behind Matt Damon.
Yeah. Might want to do some yoga classes for that one. But what I really loved about the trailer, yeah. Let's get away from Liberace for a second.
You brought it up, Corey.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Michael Douglas for a second. I love that one little bit of dialogue where he's getting ready to help out his character Scott, and Scott's like, all right, I'm done with this. I'm tired of being a criminal and breaking into other people's houses and breaking into places and stealing stuff. What do you want me to do? Michael Douglas is like, well, I want you to break into places and steal some stuff. That gives you your first idea of what the humor in the movie is going to be about, and I think that's really great. But getting to actually see the suit in action a little bit more, in particular that shot where he's running underground with the ants, is fantastic. I love that shot. I love the fact that he's going to be able to work with ants. And
I bet this is going to freak some bitches out because you know how girls hate bugs. I know this is a hugely stereotypical thing to say. I'm sure a lot of men hate bugs too, but my girlfriend is so deathly afraid of bugs.
Oh, I can't stand them either.
I don't know how a lot of people are. I hope it has to be so badass that the arachnophobia, can you won't get that scared of bugs.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully that there was that first scene where he's walking around in the ant tunnel and he runs into that one little one. He's like, "Oh, you're kind of cute." There's a little bit of a cuteness aspect, but once you see those big, mean black ones that look like the things from Honey I Shrunk the Kid, you're like, "Oh, fuck that noise! I want nothing to do with these." But really, he has nothing to be afraid of, even when he's that size. To the other ants, he's basically the Hulk. Think of the strength he really has. The strength of a full-grown human. And that's why I'm guessing his powers will come into play. The ants will start to trust him a little bit more. And he'll be able to utilize their powers, whether that be riding around on them or spinning a coin around. I'm not really sure how they...
What are they going to do? Yeah. Let's all team up and move this leaf 5 inches that way, guys.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how that's actually going to come into play.
Maybe he's got super ants. He's got some super ants. Maybe he sprays them with some stuff and they become super strong or something.
It's possible. There could be something like that, but we also need to realize, too, a lot of the action in this movie is going to take place on a very small scale, but it's going to seem all the more epic.
Maybe he teams up and with the ants, and then they grab Yellow Jacket and hold him there, and then he jumps down and punches them while the other ants are holding him. I don't know. I'm trying to think
they totally rough him up in a back alley.
Yeah, and then he comes back and finishes them off.
Make it look like an accident. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh wow.
But yeah, what I said is the action is going to go to a much smaller scale. We're going to see things in a world that we've never actually seen before. And there's a lot of shots that really do great with that. Obviously the ants, the shot where him and the ants are falling down a drain and water looked really good. But it's really all about that big final shot where he's battling against Yellow Jacket in what appears to be his daughter's playroom. because if there's a few shots in the trailer where Ant-Man is actually kissing his daughter goodnight, he's in the outfit, you can tell that Yellow Jacket in the next shot is actually in his house. They're going to have a showdown in his house, which I think is really awesome. And there's a shot at the end where they're fighting in front of this train set, which...
was a hilarious
This is
shot.
another shot which sort of sets up the fact that this is going to be a big action fest, but it's going to have a great sense of humor as well. There's a great shot where Yellow Jacket is just destroying everything in the room, and he's jumping around, jumping on the debris, getting ready to punch him. Maybe he'll transform big right there. Maybe he'll just stay small. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. But the money shot of the trailer, by far, is this scene where they're hanging out on the train tracks, and it looks like Yellow Jacket is about to be hit by this train, which also just happens to be Thomas the Tank Engine, which is a very nice and funny cameo. And you can see it from their perspective, and then they pull back, and you see it from a normal human's perspective, and it just looks like these toy trains just hitting each other, oh so casually, and just knocking over, and I love the little doo-doo like noise it makes. It's really, really funny, and that just, again, reinforces that this is not going to be your typical Marvel movie.
It's not taking itself too seriously.
No, and I think that's great. You know, there's multiple lines in the movie, too, where, like, you know, Paul Rudd tries to say with, like, a straight face, "I'm Ant-Man," and then Yellow Jacket looks at him like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, it wasn't my idea." You know, they really try to reinforce. Maybe we should have changed the name.
Yeah.
But still, I'm really amped up. I can't wait to see how this is all going to tie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Just imagine we're going to get a movie where Iron Man and Paul Rudd, or Iron Man and Ant-Man are in the same frame.
Like, just the interactions between them are going to be hilarious. I just cannot wait to see, like, Iron Man's character actually react to, like, Ant-Man, just, like, seeing him and his powers, because, you know, he's going to be doing everything in his power to not make fun of him, because it's just such a goofy and ridiculous power. And I really can't wait to see how this is going to possibly maybe even tie into Age of Ultron, even though it comes out after it, because in the comics, Michael Douglas's character, Hank Pym, he's the one who actually created Ultron.
Okay.
And he's also the one who sort of, like, stole the technology for Ant-Man, because originally I think he worked for S.H.I.E.L.D., and then he had that technology, and then he just sort of ran off and did it, because one of the things that is interesting, this is a superhero movie, but it's also going to be a heist movie. It's going to be about stealing things. Like, that's the reason why Ant-Man is working for this guy. And I'm guessing they're actually trying to steal back the technology that one guy created to make the Yellow Jacket suit, because it's just basically like a weaponized version of the one that Ant-Man has. Like, it can shrink as well, but it also has all those lasers and crap all over it.
Yeah.
And, you know, Hank Pym, Michael Douglas's character, is like, oh, I don't want this to happen. You know, this is awful. I need to be able to get this tech back, but how am I going to do it? I'm an old guy, and I don't want to get in the suit. This guy right here, he's going to pull off the heist for me, and I'm going to train him to be like the next Ant-Man protege, and if they go even further, maybe we'll even start to see Giant Man, because Hank Pym and Scott's character, they go through a number of different names and superhero aliases, because they have these different suits which do different things. Like, you have the Ant-Man suit, which can make you small, and then you can go back to normal size, and then you have the Giant Man suit, which literally makes you a giant. So,
so this Ant-Man suit, I thought the Ant-Man suit could make you giant too.
No, eventually there is going to be a suit, though, that is created by them.
Because you see Ant-Man as a big character sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Well, not like as a giant in the movie.
Not in the movie, but I'm saying in the comics.
Yeah, in the comics. But at that time, when he's wearing that suit, he's not called Ant-Man, he's called Giant Man. He also has another suit that he wears, and there's also another female character in the trailer who I believe will eventually become the hero known as Wasp. And
Ant Booty.
Yeah. Exactly. But what I will say is I'm excited for that. I honestly didn't expect that to be as good as it was. You know, coming after Star Wars, though, it's just, you know, it's hard not to be more excited for Star Wars.
I know, you can't let Star Wars.
Especially because before we did this podcast, first thing, I was like, all right, well, we're definitely going to talk about the Ant-Man trailer and everything. That's definitely going to be the highlight. Right before we do it, Star Wars trailer comes out and just blows my freaking mind.
That actually, I can't believe Star Wars came out today. I was not expecting that.
I thought maybe tomorrow, end of the weekend for Star Wars Celebration, like end it with a big trailer. No, they just went right for the jugular. Here it is, online for everybody to enjoy, and that is awesome.
So, did any other trailers come out this week?
There wasn't a full trailer. There was a teaser for a trailer for Batman versus Superman.
The trailer that doesn't show you shit, but it still gets you hyped up.
No, honestly, I really think that's all they have to show.
Yeah.
Like, we just need to see the Superman suit and the Batman suit, and that is going to get butts in seats. Originally, for me,
the two logos superimposed on each other.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, this is also the very first time that we've actually seen the Batsuit, like, in motion, full color. Obviously, Ben Affleck's not wearing it. It's basically the empty suits that we get to see. But just after seeing it here, like, for the first time in full, like, aside from just, like, still images and that one black and white one, favorite movie Batsuit. by far. It's the most classic Batsuit that I've seen. It looks like it came right from the comics, right next to Deadpool's movie costume. This Batsuit is my favorite superhero costume I've seen in a movie. Just
it looks
perfect.
Pretty good.
You know, that and maybe Amazing Spider-Man 2's Spider-Man costume. They look like just the pure comic book essence of the character, which I think is really awesome. But the teaser, like we said, it just basically shows the empty suits of Superman and Batman, and that's it, and that's all they got to do to get the hype.
And then they show you the logo and they get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Which I was kind of hoping for a little more, but whatever. They're not giving away anything for that movie yet.
Yeah,
no tone.
And it still doesn't come out until, I think mid-2016 anyway.
I know they're wrapped on it, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's in post-production now. So there's that. And then also we reviewed a new show today that just started called Ninja Slayer.
Ninja Slayer.
Yes. And that show was awesome.
It was weird, though. It was unlike anything I've ever seen.
Well, I think it's self-aware. It's, again, very self-aware. A lot like Ant-Man, or more so, I should say, a lot like Adult Swim. Because it's sort of like the animation would be really good, and then all of a sudden it would be crap, and it would look like I said, if it was a cutout on a popsicle stick, and then you had a little barrier here, and you were doing a puppet show. That's kind of what it looks like.
It's not unlike South Park.
South Park or Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Very much like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Yeah, it has this strange, shit anime style, or shit animation style, I should say. But it's still very self-aware, and the animation's pretty interesting when it actually is good. And also when the characters, there'll be a huge, battle scene, and the main character Ninja Slayer will be running at a ninja, and he'll punch him, and then right as he punches him, it'll change to the shitty animation style, and then his head will just fall off, and then blood will squirt out.
And it is funny in that sense. The show certainly has a great sense of humor. I was expecting it to be a little more just more animation.
Me too.
But that's because in the actual trailers for the show, they don't show you any of that weird standing still kind of weird cut out cardboard animation. They show you all they show you all the pretty stuff, making you think that maybe it's going to be more like that. But
this show has been throwing you off from day one. Remember that concept art that came out, and it was nothing like that.
Yeah, I mean, this show has gone through a huge evolutionary process, and it's not a typical anime series either. It's not airing on TV. You can only watch it online in 12 to 15-minute episodes, so they're really, really short. But going into this, I'm not going to judge it like a typical anime series. I think that would be unfair. I didn't even give a score to the very first episode. I'm just going to have to watch a little bit more and see what this show is all about. But if you like action anime, I would definitely recommend checking it out. The character designs in particular, I think, are really awesome. Ninja Slayer himself looks really cool, and the color scheme is just gorgeous. It'll make your eyes explode. It looks amazing.
It's almost like you said, a parody. A self-aware parody of anime.
It's an anime that knows it's an anime.
Yeah, a guy and his family gets killed by ninjas, so he takes up, this evil spirit comes by and possesses him, and together they'll take out all the ninjas. It sounds a lot like Lord of the Rings, Shadows of Mordor, practically. They're practically the same story. And so then they just go around killing ninjas. Yeah. And the ninjas are like, you're not that strong. And he's like, watch, boom, arming scene, transform, kill ninjas. It's pretty cool.
That's literally the whole show. It really is. It's just a ninja who's killing other ninjas, hence Ninja Slayer. I still think the show has a lot of potential. We're just going to have to see what they're going to do with that. But I liked the first episode.
It was good. I was pretty blown away by it. I thought it was
just, after Star Wars Episode 7 trailer, it's just that's the only
again.
thing on my mind. It's really hard to while we're doing this podcast, little images keep popping. Wasn't that really cool when you saw that one stormtrooper?
That's so you, Corey.
I just can't help it. I'm really excited for it.
What else you got? Anything? I know we were going to talk about. I could do Imgur, but I don't feel like we're far enough along to do the Imgur stuff just yet. Or we are. Let's do Imgur, Corey. Okay, the first image is, now open all the images. Do you know how to do that? It doesn't really matter. First one is the most 80s image of all time, and I'm waiting for Corey to pull that up so we can.
I'm about to take a look at that. All right, here we go.
This is awkward Imgur readings.
Awkward Imgur readings by popular demand, and here we go. We have what is the most, oh my god, that is awesome! The most 80s image ever, and it is this big, buff, Rambo-looking dude, and he has this guitar, which is in the shape of a machine gun.
And
it's actually
missiles.
got it's got missiles on it, and it's actually firing, and this guy's actually firing it like that. If he can play and shoot it at the same time, that really does sort of exemplify everything that is over the top and manly about the 1980s. I really like that image a lot, so much so that I'm actually pulling it aside and saving it. I think that picture's so
I knew
awesome.
Corey would like that.
That's
okay.
great. That's definitely, it's going to be hard to top that one. You
Here's
should have
the
made
next
that the
one.
first one. All right, the next one we have, oh my god, this is awful. It looks like a buzzard is like literally like hanging out with this one dude hanging out on the bench, and it says, "This guy sells the most powerful weapons and accessories." This is the most NPC-looking motherfucker I've ever seen. He does. He totally looks like a salesman from like a video game. He like sells.
What are you buying?
Yeah, what are you buying? What are you selling? And this guy's just got this like really creepy bird just like hanging out like over his shoulders. And this guy's just casually talking to him. Maybe he's gonna buy a weapon. Who knows? But that's really freaking weird. Like,
Here's some motivational advice by Cookie Monster.
All right, motivational advice from Cookie Monster. Today, because I'm gonna try to let me read this as Cookie Monster to try to really.
Yeah.
Today we will live in the moment, unless it's unpleasant, in which case me will eat a cookie. Cookie Monster.
Okay.
Followed by the goofy, googly-eyed Cookie Monster picture.
We got a DMX quote here.
Oh, DMX. Here we go. Is DMX still like around?
I think he's alive. He's got a Twitter account, apparently.
Oh man, we used to listen to DMX back in the day during football practice.
You want it, you get it.
What you really want? Yeah, DMX. All right, here we go.
Okay, yeah.
DMX at DMX said, yeah, sex is cool, but have you ever had garlic bread? I agree, garlic bread is pretty freaking good. All right, DMX, that's weird as shit. All right, so this next one is really good. It's hard not to laugh at it, but there's this picture of this like old rug, which is just torn up and ripped up on the ground, and it says, "Aladdin parks like an asshole."
It's just a rug taking up 2 spots on the parking lot.
Yeah, it's just like strewn out across, looking all dirty and shit. Okay, it's pretty random. All right, the next one is really good. It is the character of Jon Snow from Game of Thrones, except that his name is Juan Snow, and it's clearly what appears to be a Hispanic person cosplaying as Jon Snow as Juan Snow. That's awful. That's really bad, Chris.
Well, you laughed at it.
Yeah, I have to admit that is pretty damn funny, though. But yeah, he's actually doing a pretty good job with the cosplay.
He's Juan Snow.
Okay, so we're going back to Sesame Street.
I love these Sesame Street ones.
We have
so
Kermit the Frog and Elmo. And Elmo looks like he's actually taking away Kermit's microphone. And then Elmo says, Elmo steals the mic away from Kermit and yells, "Fuck her right in the pussy!" on live television. Baba Booey, Baba Booey! Howard Stern's penis, Baba Booey! That's basically what Elmo is doing. Oh my god, these are awful.
The next one.
Alright, the next one is Rick from The Walking Dead, and he's underwater. Coral!
And there's coral all around him. And it's a riff off the Carl line. Coral!
Oh my god, this is so stupid. I can't believe there are people who are like, I love to imagine there are like people who like come up with this shit, like writing it until like 2:30 in the morning and photoshopping it. Oh yeah.
That was good.
There we go. Awkward Imgur readings. We hope you guys enjoyed.
Coral!
But before we go, let's leave you guys with one more thing. I was going to do a separate video on this, but since we really just don't have that much to say about it, I think this would be a good opportunity to talk about it. And that's because there is a brand new trailer for Boruto!
Whoa!
Naruto, the movie, the next generation in the Naruto saga, starring Naruto, Sasuke, and their children, Sarada and Boruto. And we just got done watching the very first teaser trailer for it, and it was okay. Yeah.
It was pretty much moving images of the images we saw, like, what was it, last week?
Yeah, it was last week. I did a video talking about the very first images released from the film, and that's pretty much what they showed in the trailer, aside from just a few minor shots of animation. We did. That's probably the most important thing, is we heard Boruto Uzumaki, which I'm going to go ahead and look up who the voice actor for Boruto is going to be. I actually have no idea who it's going to be.
I like the voice actor, because it doesn't sound too much like a child. It just sounds like a higher-pitched Naruto voice. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and it sounds like Naruto, but not too much.
Yeah, it's kind of like the guy's trying to do a Naruto impression, but isn't that good at it. But you can still tell it's Naruto.
Yeah. It looks like the Japanese voice is going to be a character by the name of Yuko Senpai.
What has he done?
I'm going to see here. It looks like they're kind of new, but they might have been in some shows that we have seen before. Let's see here. Nothing that I've seen quite yet. Apparently, I don't watch that much anime.
What about Sasuke's daughter?
Sasuke's daughter, I actually have no idea. I'm still just going through all this. The character who actually voices Boruto, I haven't actually seen them in any of these anime series.
Which is strange.
Actually, no. You remember Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood?
Yes.
All right, you remember the son of the Fuhrer,
Yes.
Selim Bradley, who's Pride?
Yeah.
That's Boruto.
There we go.
Yep, and it makes sense. Little kids voicing the little kids. That makes perfect sense.
And
but that's really the only character I recognized.
Voice acting is like a real small community. Mm-hmm. So I feel like we would probably know him from something. Because if you get into it, you're like never unemployed. Mm-hmm. But it's like the elite 1% of voice acting. We always go to like like conventions and stuff, like anime conventions or whatever. And you always hear people say, oh, I want to be a voice actor. And I'm like, I don't know if you have any idea how hard that is.
It's incredibly difficult just to vote, you know. I mean, and
or even to get a gig, like much less if you're good. It's a lot like acting. You got to be good at acting, and then it's still like a lottery to get in.
I imagine, like, too, in Japan, like, they probably have, like, their own unions and stuff for, like, all the voice actors. Because there are a lot of voice actors you hear all the time, like in different
Zorro.
shows. I hear him in everything, man. Not only did I hear him in that brand new Blood Blockade Battlefront, but I started watching that Gintama show. Yeah. He's one of the characters in that as well. Guy is like that show's goofy as hell.
Did you like the second episode you just reviewed?
I did. I honestly didn't even... it actually follows up from the last episode. Like, they're still stuck in time. It opens again with, like, Piccolo killing them. They even go through the dialogue where, like, that old guy is sitting there and he's like, no, don't do this. I promise if you let me go, I won't pick my nose anymore. Yeah. And he's like, no, I can't let that happen. And then Piccolo's like, I finally have enough power now. And they do, like, the whole thing and they go through it. And then the rest of the episode is, again, them just trying to fix time. And I don't even want to... You know, I can't do the episode justice. Just watch Gintama. It's hilarious and ridiculous. I'm going to start checking out some of the older episodes to kind of have like a better understanding of the show. But as far as Sarada's voice actor, the name of the actress is Kokoro Kuku. Oh my god, this is awful. Kikuchi. Kokoro Kikuchi. She's going to be voicing Sarada Uchiha. And just like the other actor, there's really nothing that I recognize her from, which is kind of a shame. Something that is kind of ridiculous, though, and this just... I don't know how this happened, but the most recent Naruto movie, the last Naruto the movie, the character of Boruto Uzumaki, who was seen in the post-credit scene, you don't really see him too much more of just like you hear him, was actually voiced by Kokoro Kikuchi. So Sarada originally voiced Boruto, and now Boruto is being voiced by someone completely different. So it's weird. Boruto's original voice actor is now voicing Sarada, so it's just a cluster.
Fucking Uchiha, fucking everything up.
As usual. Yep. But still, the trailer itself doesn't show anything. It basically just shows Sasuke, Naruto, Sarada, who I still think is hanging out in the arena for the Chunin exam, and then you have Boruto, who jumps in doing a nice little cool ninja flip, and then it's just like, hey, what's up? I'm Boruto. Then we see the brand new intro.
My dad has a dealership.
Yeah. Dude, my dad has a dealership, okay? My dad's the Hokage, all right? He kind of saved the world. And you get to see the new logo for Boruto, which I didn't even think there were going to be two logos, because they showed that first one where it looked like he, like, literally took the Naruto logo and put, like, the wooden boards that would spell out Boruto.
Yeah.
But this new one looks a little more cleaner. It looks more official, and the O actually is in the shape of a bolt, which is very nice. A nice callback.
Because he's not screwing with us.
No.
I've been waiting to use that one.
Oh, that was so good. There's no way I'm going to be able to top that one. But there it is. That's really all I have to say. I mean, I'm still excited for it. It just, you know... That teaser compared to Star Wars Episode 7.
Again, everything I fucking bring up, Corey, you won the lottery. Well, that's cool, but Episode 7 teaser trailer just came out.
We just established world peace. Isn't this amazing? Yeah, but does it have Kylo Ren in it? Yeah, don't think so. Yeah, don't give a shit now.
Still number 2 to me then.
But yeah. But yeah, this was a really, really good week for trailers. Like I said earlier in the video, if you guys want to see any of these trailers, we'll put links for all of them in the description box below so you guys can check them out. Make sure to tell us what you guys thought about this, what you're hoping to see in the brand new Boruto movie, Star Wars movie, Ant-Man. Please tell us in the comment section below, and maybe we will answer those in the next podcast.
Booyah. Thank you guys so much for watching. I guess we're going to head out. We really appreciate all the comments you guys have left us. We may not respond to all of them, but we always take any feedback you guys give us into consideration. I think people like the Imgur thing. Mm-hmm. Like, you weren't so hot on it, but you saw a whole bunch of people liked it, so we're do it now. And vice versa. Like, you guys never really complain when we have guests on, and we love doing that, you know, so we're going to keep having guests on. I know a few people that we definitely know we want to have come on. And so stay tuned for everything coming up, guys. We're going to keep doing these. And make sure to subscribe to the channel. Check us out. Use our Amazon link. If you want to donate to the show, use our PayPal link. Thank you so much. Check us out on Facebook and Twitter, all that shit. And until next time, you guys, stay dandy.
And may the force be with you, bitches.
Fucking Star Wars.
The Wars!